the Citybird SUV.
One win out of 6 so far. Can RCB get their season going? They take on Sunrisers Hyderabad in their home den at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in match number 30 of the season. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout. We're in the company of Tom Moody, Mitch McLennigan and Wasim Jafar to set that game up for us. We have to start with RCB. Not much has worked for them, and while we've dissected and discussed their batting a lot, they are also hurt by the absence so far of Mohammad Siraj, who hasn't showed up. What's happened to him, Mitch?
Oh, look, I think he just hasn't been getting that ball to bend back as we're used to seeing. I think he's just got his line wrong, particularly to the left-handers. And when you get that line wrong, you start going for runs. And I think that's probably been the impact this year, is that he hasn't taken those wickets because he hasn't bowled the right line and length.
How much is this hurting RCB? Because this is anyway not a stacked bowling attack. It's almost the opposite of what's happening with MI. I know Bumrah is a different league altogether, but at least there's one bowler who's carrying that bowling attack. RCB would have hoped, given Siraj's last season, that he could do something similar, but it's not happening.
Yeah, well, he had a very good season last year. I think 19 wickets with an economy under 8, which is a great effort, particularly when you're bowling at the bookends of the game. But I think, from my observations, I think he's struggling with the fact that it's nearly like a revolving door, their bowling attack, so he's unsure who his bowling partners are. He's also struggling because of that, the added responsibility that he has as a senior bowler now. And having those two things come together, makes it very difficult. You put a lot of pressure on yourself to perform and to take wickets. And to me, when you're into that mindset as a bowler, you're going down the wrong path, instead of just sticking to the process to what makes you a very good bowler.
And the timing of this just doesn't help Wasim, does it? Because the World Cup is around the corner. You would have thought coming into the IPL that after Bumrah, the second name among India's pacers is Siraj, but all of a sudden you can't be that sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not that guy at the moment because his form hasn't been there. But he's got the skills, he's done it before, and RCB would like that to happen as soon as possible because the other guys haven't stood up, the foreign batters haven't stood up. The only capped guy in a fast bowling attack is Siraj. So they want him to stand up and be counted. Otherwise, their campaign is going too far away.
Would you like to see any changes, specifically in the bowling department?
No, I think they're going to have to find a way of making it work with what they've got. I think quite often in the first games, like Tom said, the way they've used Siraj, he kind of hasn't been in a set position. I think you've got to give him the first over. But also, particularly if he does against SRH with Head and Abhishek, if he is going to bowl with the new ball, I think you need him to have a fine leg and a square leg to stop that clip off the hip that a lot of the guys are getting, and just give him that added protection so he feels more confident bowling with the new ball to left-handers.
Yeah, the task doesn't get any easy for RCB. They only come up against a batting side which managed to score 277 in Hyderabad. So what can they do at the Chinnaswamy? Let's turn our attention to the Hyderabad bowling. In their pace department, Pat Cummins has been the standout leader. But when you look at the rest of the domestic complement, Tom, have we seen enough to wonder whether it's time to unleash Umran Malik, who we've only seen one over from so far?
In short, no. I think this is the wrong venue to consider his return. I do agree that it'll be good to get him back into their side at some point, particularly when you've got this impact sub situation where it allows you to play, a specific skill batter and a specific skill bowler. So it gives you that sort of flexibility. I think at this venue is not the best place for him to be coming into the contest. Small ground, their top order is I suppose one of the better top orders to face pace. They may take advantage of him. So I would look to introduce him into their campaign more at home than somewhere like Chinnaswamy,
which would mean persisting with Jaydev Unatkar.
Yeah, look, you look at his numbers where he's going over 10s, but you also got to look at the overs he's bowled. And quite often he's bowled difficult overs at difficult times. So I think you've got to put that into perspective. You can't just line him up against the other bowlers throughout the lineup. He's been put in tough positions. So all in all, I've liked what I've seen from him this year. He's filling a role within that SRH side as well, and he's doing a good job. So, yeah, I'm not going to read too much into the numbers. I think he deserves his spot in the side.
Well, they've been fine on the results so far. Bhuvneshwar Kumar with 3 wickets so far in 5 innings. That's a strike rate that will have to improve for Sunrisers over the course of the season.
Yeah, he's been economical though. I mean, he's bowled well. He's not bowled badly. For the last 1 or 2 years, he hasn't picked up wickets like we've known Bhuvneshwar Kumar has done before. But he's there and thereabouts. So he'll have those games where he'll get teams 3 down for nothing. That game could be this one. But I think he's bowling really well.
Right. I have a feeling I know what most of the answers are going to be, but I'm going to try still. Predictions. Tom.
I think SRH is going to be hard to beat.
I agree.
Same.
3-0
It's 3 oranges.
3-0 over here is the verdict. What do you think? Can RCB find a win somehow? Be sure to catch the build-up to the game just before toss time on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.